The cursed kingdom of Benin, blood, sacrifice, and shadows of power. Long ago, in the thick rainforests of West Africa, there stood a kingdom wrapped in mystery and fear, the kingdom of Benin. Its walls rose high, its bronze artistry shimmered in the sunlight, and its Oba, king, was worshipped as a god upon the earth. But behind the shimmering bronze, the chants, and the drums lay a darkness, a curse whispered in blood, sacrifice, and restless spirits. He throne of the Oba, between gods and men. The Oba of Benin was no ordinary ruler. In the eyes of his people, he was chosen by the gods, his blood carrying the power of life and death. His word was law, and his silence could doom a city. But with divine kingship came a heavy price. The spirits of ancestors demanded constant appeasement, and the gods, hungry and watchful, demanded blood. It was said that no Oba could remain on the throne unless he fed the kingdom's shrines with sacrifices. Sometimes it was animals, but often it was men and women, prisoners of war, criminals, or even innocents taken in ritual. To refuse was to risk angering the gods, and in Benin, an angry god meant famine, plague, or rebellion. The Festival of Blood. The most dreaded of all rituals was held under the cover of night, during the Igu festival, when the Oba's power was renewed for another year. Drummers beat skins until the earth trembled, and masked priests in red garments painted with chalk led chosen victims to the sacred groves. Torches flickered against the carved ivory tusks and bronze heads of past kings, staring silently as if watching the rites. The priests called on Ogun, the god of iron, and Olakan, lord of the great waters, to bless the Oba with strength. And then came the sacrifice. Throats slit, blood spilled on the soil, skulls crushed against sacred stones, each act sealing a covenant. The belief was simple: the kingdom's greatness demanded the blood of men. But whispers spread that each drop of blood sank into the soil, feeding not only the gods, but also a curse. The curse of the ancestors. According to legend, an Oba once broke the sacred balance. He demanded not dozens, but hundreds of sacrifices in a single year, declaring himself not just a king but greater than the gods. The earth shook, and a prophecy was spoken. When the blood of innocents soaks the throne, the kingdom shall fall not by the spear of warriors, but by fire and iron from across the sea. From then, every sacrifice fed the curse. The kingdom grew richer, yes, the bronzes more exquisite, the palaces more magnificent, but shadows lengthened over Benin. Fire. The fall of Benin. Centuries later, the prophecy came true. In 1897, the British marched on Benin in what history calls the Punitive Expedition. But the elders say it was not the British guns that doomed Benin, it was the curse, awakened by centuries of blood. As the white men set the city aflame, the Oba's palace crumbled, and his sacred bronzes were looted, scattering across the world. The shrines fell silent, their altars drenched in ash. The spirits, once fed by sacrifice, abandoned the city. To this day, people whisper that the kingdom's ruin was not simply colonial greed, but the hand of the curse of blood. Waning crescent moon. Legacy of shadows. The story of Benin is one of glory and terror, of unmatched art and unbearable blood. It is a reminder that the price of power can be far greater than a kingdom can endure. For though Benin fell, the curse lives on, not in walls or palaces, but in the whispers of history, echoing. Greatness bought with blood is never without a shadow. If you want more of ancient African's history, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel Blood of Empires.